Okay, hey there guys, so it has been quite a long time since I have made one of these, so if the rust is showing, sorry about that a little bit, but just have been really busy, I guess, or lack of motivation, unsure which exactly it's been, but we're back in Season 43, we're about halfway through it, just about exactly halfway through it right now, actually. Salty's had a nice start to this, and we're going to start the season off against SSX, and starting it off with fighting a lot of Infamous, who is a guy I've known for a while. He's a really good guy. So it's going to suck, but this is the first test run of my rank 5 Doom in War. Now, I haven't gotten to use him a ton in season after this, but yikes, there's way too much safety. Like, I don't get hit in this fight, but the amount of damage and safety I have with a rank 5 Doom, that was an 18k crit without his Fury against a Hyperion. You just have so much going for you. Like, look, I took off almost half his health slow playing it before the SP3, and I think that's where this rank 5 Doom is really going to shine, is in the fights where I can't use or rely on my like SP3 as much, or like just a big rotation, because that's always where Doom has not struggled, but the damage is just obviously not as good when you can't just SP3, SP2 and the fight's over. When you need a couple SP3s, or like you're just trying to not use specials for some reason, if there's something going on in the fight, this will the bird's back. This will definitely make that a bit easier. So that was that first Hyperion out of the way. Now, if you notice, there's also there's so many roster changes. I need to post the July 4th opening still, because that'll explain a lot of the changes in my roster. Let's just say I have a very upgraded roster right now, including that lovely robotic guy, Warlock. So that is in the plan to post that and then talk about all the rank ups I've made, because right now my roster looks extraordinarily different. Obviously just having Warlock, I don't remember what season that was, but my officer in GT40 gave me a Havoc on Path 4 that was like this Havoc, but with a Nimrod instead of a Warlock, which, if you haven't done it, is not a good idea. It's really bad. It's really bad. So, setting up my Warlock here, I'm going to turn on my Suicides for this war, which is going to be really fun. This is also going to be a rank 4 Warlock. So as I was doing this, I wanted just to talk about a couple things. As I said, July 4th opening, I picked up a couple deals. I'll show that at some point, I hope, assuming I can like keep up the posting of videos and I catch up on wars and all of that, which will eventually happen. I'll show that, and it'll explain some of the roster changes, but I have a lot more rank 5s and a lot more rank 4s right now, which is very nice. For this season as a whole, I'm going to give a little warning. I'm going to use a lot of the same champions and going down the same path, fighting like the same fights. There are going to be exceptions to that, and the exceptions are going to be very fun, in my opinion, but the general path that I've been taking and the general champs I've been using have been quite similar, with slight variations, just as a warning for how this season is going to go. I ran out of a certain boost in the first week, if that says like how much I took one path and a specific champion and playstyle. So, getting into this fight, this is the first time I've ever done this fight. I had seen it done before, obviously, and I knew how like just overpowered Warlock is for this fight, but I was still just like a little bit nervous, because it's like I haven't ever used Warlock really. I used him in one quest prior to this, I think. This is like second or third time using a Warlock, so it was quite, not like nervous about that, but it was just like I know this is supposed to be easy, but just to make sure. So, get up to my SP2, and now this is also a rank 5 Havoc, so even matchup here, and I'm just going to hold block to prevent the unblockable, get right back in there, throw out the combos, 4 armor breaks, boom. Oh, it's only a 9k, never mind, not a boom. Quite bad, actually, but then just throw another SP2 into it. Really quick fight, 20-30 seconds. So that was really fun, and then into the fight I'm going to take 12 times this season, I assume. I really thought for a second about trying it with Doom, because it's technically doable, and I wouldn't have to use boosts, but I'm going to be using Mole Man for this null here. I was doing that some last season. When I was in GT, I took this fight with Doom a lot, and now that I'm in Salty, I've been taking this with Mole Man a lot more. And I don't know which one I prefer. I think Mole Man's is definitely a more explosive fight. You're going to see how this goes here. So I've also gotten a lot more comfortable in my playstyle for this fight, and I go in, I back off so I don't get hit by his unblockable. It's happened to me a couple times. Technically it's okay because you just resist the unblockable and then you just lose all your charges, and then as you build up your power, you build up your frenzy. I let him, when he hits you with those mediums, he's going to get those debuffs on you, but the 2 SP2s just blows him up and he's gone. 21-second fight, suicides, power boost, everything going for you. You just rinse through them, and so that's SSX. As I said, SSX, they definitely have a couple guys I know and have played with before, but the war went pretty well overall. Another thing I'm going to explain here really quickly is there was something asked of the people in Salty, and so I'm just going to adhere to that. So that's all it really is for the score screen, but GG's to SSX. It's a fun war. This was a pretty close one from what I remember, so good to see. Like to see guys I know in war, and always fun when I get to fight their champions specifically. And obviously, in speaking about alliances that I know pretty well and have faced for a long time now, has to be New Nation is up there, and we're going up against Zarafa first. Man is the king of interesting choices in champions, and especially the king of Null. So this war, I think I was supposed to have a section 1, but it was only going to be like one fight or something. But the timing for how the... Oh, I blocked that heavy there. That was really bad, actually. I got so nervous when I did that, because I made like 3 mistakes in this fight, and it was actually really funny because someone else in Salty actually died to this fight this war, and they'd asked me like, hey, can you send the video of the fight you did this day? And I was like, yes, but I made like 3 big mistakes in it. This fight, you don't use a power start 1, and you don't get hit by his heavy and lose all your charges. The plan is you use an invul or a regen. You don't really need anything. This fight is really simple. But you have your suicides on. You get 1 or 2 heavies off. Trigger frenzy. You hit just until you get the special 1. Launch it. And if you do it quick enough, he doesn't gain nonsense, so you don't need your true strike. And then you're going to kill him before he gets off 3 debuffs onto you, most likely. Until you see it not happen, which is definitely interesting. But like 99% of the time, you're going to kill him before that. But for this war specifically, I was supposed to have something in section 1. I don't remember what it was. Something happened with this time schedule and all of that, so I ended up only with this, and I was only going to use Mole Man. So I was instructed, yeah, just throw on a Heimdall. Like, I needed the White Mags pre-fights either way, but they were just like, yeah, like, why wouldn't I bring Heimdall? This is the only fights I'm taking. Gives me an extra layer of safety. So he throws his SP1, which I prefer him not to do. And I'm trying to time this. I'm like extending my combo closer and closer to Corruption, just so that way I make sure I throw that SP2 in time for when he's getting it. And again, second SP2 kills him. Fight's pretty similar every time because they're both very like static champions. Beat New Nation. Good start to the season so far. That's the first week, and that's 2-0. This is actually War 1 and War 3, but War 2 is longer. I'm just trying to keep the fight. I want to do like a minimum of 4 fights. I think a war video is what I'm going to plan on at a minimum, but we'll see if I like decide like 4 isn't enough, and maybe I'll do it up to like 6 or something. But so this is 2 wars, but it's War 1 and War 3. 2 has more fights than that, so decided to do it this way. Thank you guys so much for coming back to watch this video. Thank you for... yeah, just thank you for coming back. I'm glad to be back doing these videos again. Hopefully I can keep it up a little bit longer this time than I did last time. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.